Well, you are popular. What up, friends? Hey, welcome to Hot Thoughts Season 3, Episode 2. Excited to have a conversation on the concept of being created to create. It's a unique episode on a lot of different ways because it's Season 2, right? Or Season 3. It's one-on-one. But this is my first ever live episode with a human being in the room with me.
I'm honored.
So I got Dustin Bryson. Dustin, would you introduce yourself? Let people know who you are.
Yeah, my name's Dustin Bryson. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. You're from Portland. West Coast babies. And moved here from Austin, Texas. I've started a lot of things in my life. I really enjoy the creative process a lot, and it's really the thing that gives me life. And so the fact that you asked me to be on, we're friends anyway.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you asked me to come and talk about that, I'm pretty passionate about starting things and creating new things. And so excited to be here. Got a wife and 2 kids. Eliana is my daughter, and Mike is my son, and Lee is my wife. So they're at home, 7 to 9 minutes away right now. Watching, I hope. So
hopefully they're watching. Yeah. So we'll say for those watching, don't forget to like, comment, share. Like, we want to be able to share this out. So if you're watching on the Hot Thoughts group page or on our page, those are the best places to get your comments to come onto the stream. But if you share it, more people can participate with us as we go through this. But we're gonna do it a little different than we normally do.
I'm nervous, man.
And so what we'll do is, rather than me choosing all the sauces, we don't have a lineup. We're going to go back to back. So Dustin brought his own sauces tonight. Yeah. And so you'll choose one. I'll let you kick us off. We got our wings from a place called It's Just Wings.
Yeah, that's all they are.
Except for they're not, because they have curly fries in here.
Well, they're just wings and curly fries.
So you start us out, explain the sauce, and as you explain it and we take a bite, I'll give us our first question.
Yes. All right. Well, this is... I don't know how to say the name of this. I don't know if it's Cajones or Cajones.
I mess it up all the time.
I think it's Cajones. Which
I think it is.
We're not going to talk about what that means, but they're the Fiery Foods Company. This is a small batch Chipotle taco sauce. This isn't going to be hot, y'all. This is going to be a nice, flavorful, yummy hot sauce.
All right.
We're going to get hurt at some point tonight. I brought some other stuff that really, and from what I understand, you've got some stuff that's going to make me cry and go home.
So. And we got lots of beverages back here to try to help us get through. So we got strawberry chocolate milk.
Just strawberry.
We got plastic cups. No chocolate at all. So why don't you dab your wing? I'll take a bite.
Okay, hold on. What are we doing here? Okay.
So I think these are just regular.
Okay. So am I dabbing them both?
Oh, yeah. Get us both ready to go. Get us one loaded up.
Oh, geez. That's not going to be bad.
That's a great one. I'm going to take a bite. All right. So, that's really good.
Is it?
That's a great taco hot sauce. That's really good.
Yeah, it's really Chipotle. I mean, really no heat.
So as we go into it, though, the episode is created to create. And so really start out pretty easy. Like, do you believe that individuals, everyone, wherever they are, whoever they are, were created by God to be creative? Mm-hmm. And created to create.
I do. I mean, the Bible's pretty clear that we were made in His image. And, I mean, who's created more breadth of work, more vast, more incredible works than God? I mean,
right.
So if we were created in His image truly, and we believe that we were created in His image, which I do believe, we are created to create. Like, it's literally like in our DNA. It's in our bloodline as humanity.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So with that, like, there's so many different things that come under that. But like, when you think about it, like, what do you imagine there are like roadblocks for people? Like, why do you think it's hard for people to even think about that?
Well, I think people think about creativity in a very linear fashion. They think of, like, some people think of creativity. They think painters are creative. Fine art painters are creative.
Yeah.
They think sculptors are creative. They think perhaps symphony, dudes who write symphonies are creative, but they're not creative. It's absolutely not true. I mean, chefs are incredibly creative. Engineers figuring out how to make machinery work together. We're all using creative parts of our bodies, our brains, and it's just like whatever you do for work. We make I don't know, there's some statistic on Google, we could all Google it, but we make some tens of thousands of decisions a day. That's us being creative.
Yeah.
We're figuring out better ways to do the things that we already do. Now, some people enjoy creativity as an art form.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a filmmaker and photographer, so I get this like super amount of joy and passion from doing that. I can't cook to save my life, but I've watched other people cook, and to watch the passion and the joy just ooze out of them because this is what they were made to do. It's creativity.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I think that if you're an accountant, figuring out ways
be creative.
To be the best accountant, to figure out ways to, we have QuickBooks now, but is there a better way to use it? I mean, I love it when I've done something 1,000 times. It becomes muscle memory. It's repetitive. And then I think, why am I doing it this way?
Yeah.
Would that be a better way? I tweeted yesterday, just being snarky, which,
which you are.
But I was watching the news, and the guy from KMOV, which is our local Channel 4, I think, got on there, and he has his big, like, perfectly white teeth, and he's just, perfect. Right. And he walks out, and he starts pointing at numbers. It's going to be this degrees, and then, but it's going to get up to 61. And then he goes, and in the city of Troy, and he points at them. And I tweeted, is this the best way for us to get our news? A guy standing on my TV, like, pointing at numbers,
right?
And then I had people text me back or tweet me back and say, no, like, I have apps all over my phone that would disagree.
Yeah, disagree with that.
So, I mean, I think, just thinking of a new way to do anything is creative.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll get in as we get further into the difference, I think, between artistic and creative, right? Because they are not one and the same, but sometimes you conflate them. Mm-hmm. But before we do that, we'll dive into our next sauce. And so we got just the thought sauce.
Okay, all right.
We got the hot sauce brand sauce, and so I'll get you on this one.
Are we eating the whole wing?
I haven't had dinner, so
this is second dinner for me, but it's not going to hurt me.
You got that.
You know how I go. I'll go hard.
So my second question for you is this, and this isn't a hot wing really, but a delicious sauce. My friend Steve would love to know what you think of it, so give us a review real quick.
Yeah, it's good. It's got a lot of something on the front end. Garlic, maybe? I'm not sure what it is, but there's something really, really flavorful at the front end.
It's got some roasted peaches.
Roasted. There's something roasted, yeah. I don't taste the peach, but I taste roasted. It doesn't have the same mouthfeel as the Cajones. Mm-hmm.
Not the same one. A little different.
Yeah,
a little
bit different.
Well, hey, so here's my question for you.
I like it.
What inspires you to be creative, and how? So, second part question: how can we find our creativity? So, speak to the person out there watching. Like, they're like, "Hey, man, like I want to be creative, but I am an accountant. Like, how do I find my creativity?"
Well, I mean, for starters, let me just answer the two-part question. The first part first. What I find lights my creative fire and what you find lights your creative fire are probably going to be completely different. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people probably like me, but it might not be the folks at home watching. The way that I know that I don't know how I'm creative, and I don't buy when people write books about 5 ways to be more creative. Maybe there is. Maybe it's take walks, drink more water, get a good night's sleep. I don't know. But what I know for me is that when I am excited about something and then I get to work on that thing, and I call it the flow. Some people call it the zone. I can get into a flow editing a film and not realize that lunch has passed and it's getting dark. I mean, I can go for hours in this zone or in this flow, as I call it. And I really, that's to me how I know, like, okay, like I wasn't bored. I didn't get antsy, even though after I kind of wake up out of that zone, I'm hungry and I realize I haven't taken care of my own physical needs.
Right, but you were locked in for so long.
Yeah, and that to me is how I know. And I mean, if I don't create something on video for a couple of days, I have to make my own thing. Like I'll have to just make something for YouTube or something. So if somebody's at home, like here's what I would tell people is find that thing that you're just super passionate about. I mean, if the thing that you wake up thinking about and go to bed thinking about, the thing that you're on your phone, you can even use the algorithms on social media to figure out what you're passionate about if you don't know, because
they pop up for you.
They're going to start popping up. Yeah, if you go into the little search, the little spyglass or a magnifying glass, and the algorithm already knows you. So go to your YouTube channel. What have you been watching? On mine, it's going to be tons of filmmakers, people talking about color correction on film, and what do certain colors mean in movies, and things of this nature. What lens to use and what lighting to use in a scene, and that's because every time I watch it, I'm just like a little kid. I got to know more. I want to soak it in. So if you're an accountant and your job isn't the thing that you feel particularly creative about, maybe you have always been interested in, making your own canoe out of a fallen tree, whatever it is, Once you start researching the right axe for that, and then the sandpaper you're going to use, and if that stuff gets you excited, like I think most people they say no to themselves. Yeah. They say no to themselves before the world can say no to them because they don't want to be shut down or fail. And I'll tell you what, like my company, Public Art Co., we have a whole brand called Fear No Failure. Like we want to fail.
Yeah.
Because we believe that failure allows us to grow.
Yeah.
We want to make mistakes, and from those mistakes can birth new life and new ideas. And it's so maybe the accounting isn't your thing, but it's this. What else are you thinking about? What are you thinking about when you go to bed and get up and in the morning? And a lot of times in those moments when your kids aren't yelling because they need milk, or there's
right.
The pancakes are cold or whatever it is. In those other moments, what are you passionate about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think about this as a great example, at least for me, because I'm like, I can't really draw really well. I can't sing. I can't paint. I used to, for a long time, be like, I'm not a creative person, right? Like I would say, I'm not a creative. But Hot Thoughts was a great example for me. It was like saying, like, hey, what does it look like to like have conversations with people, do something I'm passionate about, and get out there and try it because it's fun, right? I think we all have those areas. And I think sometimes we even quantify like creativity and like how many people watch it or how many people buy it or how many people consume it. It's like, if you love it and you have fun with it, like do it.
It's not, that's a horrible barometer for whether or not it's successful to you.
Yeah.
If it's successful by fickle people who in the world are only showing their highlight reel, and then we're upset that they're not paying attention to what we're doing and giving us a bunch of thumbs up. If the fulfillment is a dopamine hit from the likes, that's not the same thing as doing something because you love it. There is not, social media and all this hasn't been around that long. There have been people doing really cool stuff thousands of years.
Before there was YouTube, right?
Right. Yeah. And we didn't have to Instagram every meal that we have. Yeah. I'm just as guilty as anybody else. But when we do that, and then when we put up a comparison to someone else, that's going to kill our creativity because we're always going to think we're not good enough. Then we're also going to think that the work isn't good enough. I'm rarely pleased with the work that I send to clients, and I'm rarely pleased with the work that I create, even for myself. So, but again, I know a lot of really mediocre artists that think they're amazing.
Yeah.
So I go, all right, well, the confidence
goes a long way.
It can, but when they see the real work, they go, maybe not.
All right. Well, hey, so this would be your wing to choose, but I'm actually going to choose this one. So I got it in my pocket, and it's going to come with a bonus question. So this is McDonald's Mighty Hot Sauce. So McDonald's Mighty Hot Sauce. They just came out with this.
This can't be hot.
But I was just so intrigued by it. I drove through, and I was actually inspired by an extra question that came with it.
Vinegary.
And so my question with this bonus question: which fast food restaurant has the best spicy chicken sandwich to you?
Wow. I mean, it's a little unfair. That's actually what I had for dinner was the Chick-fil-A spicy sandwich.
I'm going to put a wing in here. I'm going to see what happens.
I'm going to as well. But let me tell you, that Popeyes.
You liked it?
Oh, my. I don't know if the chicken the chicken itself is fatty and there's a lot more breading. It's a lot bigger than the amount of chicken that it seems like you get.
Right.
That whatever that mayo hot stuff is legit. Have you had it? You didn't like it? I don't know if we can be friends after this if you say you didn't like it.
Well,
it was legit.
I liked it. I'm going to make what is going to be the most unpopular take in the history of Hot Thoughts. As of today. I tried McDonald's new hot spicy chicken sandwich. It was out of this world. It might be the best one I've ever had.
Really?
It was so good. And I don't like McDonald's. But I needed these sauces. Mm-hmm. I saw that they were selling them, and I gave it a try, and it was out of this world.
The one, is it the new one with the 2 pickles on it?
Yeah. It was so good.
I don't know if the words McDonald's and out of this world have ever been uttered in the same sentence.
I don't either.
Except for their fries.
Well, we got someone, Facebook user, so I don't know I don't know who it is, but you're on one of our platforms, but we can't see who you are. But they said Popeyes is hard to beat.
Yeah. I mean, that Popeyes, it is good. The fries are whatever, but...
Yeah, Popeyes is pretty great. I've only had one. Chick-fil-A's new grilled chicken sandwich, also really good.
Really?
I had a great time. I loved it. So, but we'll hop back into a new one. So you got the sauce on this one.
That actually had a tiny bit of heat to it.
It gets you, right? Like it gets you a little bit on it's. Did you say this? Did you say peppery, right? It's got some peppery to it.
I did say that. Did you think that sounded smart?
It did sound smart.
Then I said it.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, don't play back this video.
I covered my phone in this sauce, though.
I mean, that's a little hot.
Yeah, it's hotter than you think. Have you
ever had? Oh, what's it called? Shoot, it's down in Florida. We had them down in Florida. It's a chicken place.
Zaxby's.
Yes. Have you ever gotten the five blaze?
Never had Zaxby's, but I've lived in a place that had Zaxby's.
Man, it is. I think most of these fast food places don't want to get sued, and so they don't give you really hot,
right? Yeah.
Stuff. But is it okay to drink? We're not being
racist.
Okay. They don't give you really hot stuff, but I'm telling you, Zaxby's 5-alarm, whatever that is,
it's hot.
It was almost so hot I couldn't finish it. So, what's the hottest thing you've ever had? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's the hottest situation you've ever had? I've got a great story.
The hottest that I've ever had was that chocolate habanero I had. I did Facebook Live. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
So, ate it on Facebook Live, and my wife got home like 30 minutes later, and she was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was out for.
Really on the floor or what?
I was on the couch for and back and forth to the bathroom, and nothing.
Right away.
I thought I was gonna throw up the whole time. I'm going I'm gonna barf.
Yeah.
And for at least 3 hours, I was back and forth, and she's like, "You can never do this again," because it was just me and the kids and dinner.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "Please never." But that was, and so I do these hot sauces. They wear off after a while.
Right.
The raw peppers, they get you, and they get you hard.
Wow.
And my little brother. Or my older brother, his cousin, or my older brother's son, who is my cousin,
You're from the Pacific Northwest. I get it.
Yeah,
we don't know.
He's got a YouTube channel where he's been eating these things. He had a habanero. I was like, "You're like 13. That's wild to me." They did. So
well, I grew up on hot stuff. I grew up eating jalapeno, having a jalapeno eating contest at like 11, 12, 13 with a friend of mine named Trevor. And so, we were just trying to outdo each other. Like, we weren't trying to be tough guys or anything anybody else. His parents had a huge jar of them, and we just look each other deeply into our eyes, and we'd eat it. And then the first one to grab milk was the loser.
Okay.
And it went back and forth. But then later in life, it kind of become a badge of courage, and you start going like, yeah, I'm a tough guy, I can eat hot stuff. And so you start to, try to show off at different places. Well, I was at a place with some other friends, and we were getting Thai food.
Okay.
And Thai food is based on
joke.
1 to 5 ratio, and I've never
different
gotten
than Zaxby's.
Totally, it's a powder. Which, by the way, I brought one. This is hot. Excuse me. So that wasn't professional. That 7-Up burp. So we get it. And I always get a 4. I always get a 4. But it's some little old lady from Thailand in the back, like making it like. Who knows what 4 means? Is it 4 scoops? Is it heapings? I don't know.
No one knows.
But this time I decided to get a 5. I get a 5, and I've just in my mind's eye, she's back there just like, oh yeah, 5?
Yeah, she gave you 10 scoops.
Watch this. So I get it. I'm eating it, and I'm really not feeling good. I'm only like 6 bites in, and I'm really regretting my decision. And I'm thinking there's a solid chance I'm not going to be able to finish this meal, which is not like me. I mean, I finish my kids' meals when they don't finish them. And so I'm eating, and I realize, something's really wrong here. And I look up, and one of the guys I was with, he goes, "Your nose is bleeding." My nose had started bleeding. I've never had a nosebleed in my life outside of getting punched in the face. So like the capillary, something happened, and my nose started bleeding. Yeah, it's not the hottest thing. And the hottest thing I've ever had was a pepper right off a bush in Mozambique in Africa.
Okay.
And I was told by the people, our handlers, don't do
it.
Don't do that. Yeah.
They
have peri peri. Have you ever
been peri peri? Yeah.
So it was a peri peri plant, and it messed me up.
Yeah. That's like the sauce they have on the table too, right? Like turn it into like a paste or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that was some hot stuff.
Yeah, it's hot. Well, it can be. Every place is different.
Yeah.
Some places it's more sugary, some places more hot.
Well, why don't you choose our next sauce?
Okay.
And then
are we getting hot next?
Let's go hot.
We're going hot now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can choose mine or yours.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about you. Let's go here because I do have. All
right, let's get up there. Yeah, that's great.
The Yucateco. I get the red stuff. You have the green stuff. So
yeah, you sauce our wings, and as you sauce them, here's our question. And you kind of talked about this a little bit, like about failures.
This is hot.
It's pretty hot, but I like it. How would you say that your past failures have played into your future creations? And so failures kind of like playing into not just success, but creations in the future.
That's a good question. I have failed a lot of times. I've started 30 plus LLCs in my life, and I used to like brag about that. Like it was kind of a braggadocious thing. Like, oh, how many of you started? I've started 30.
Right.
And then I didn't realize because I'm so dumb that everybody was like, oh yeah, you're not rich. You must suck at this. Like I didn't realize that my brag was actually doing the opposite.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you this: the things that I've had success with in my life, business-wise and creativity-wise, have been the things that I stuck to. Mm-hmm. And this might sound like a no-brainer, but again, I'm an idiot. And it's just those things where I go, oh yeah, that didn't work today. Well, let's adjust and pivot. Maybe we can work on something new. Let's learn something new today about whatever it was. We created very, very early on, created a social media network for creatives that it hadn't been done before.
Okay.
And I made this humongous mistake. I owned a boutique creative agency and pulled everybody off of it. Basically, we had dozens of retainer clients, and we stopped doing work for them to work on this other thing.
Okay.
I didn't plan ahead well enough to realize that this other thing was going to blow up, and it started to blow up from day one. And then we didn't have the manpower, woman power to handle it all. And now, so then, okay, well, how could I have done that differently? So always learning from those failures, trying to figure out next time how to do it better. My biggest failure across the board has been the new shiny idea. I get very excited about something, and then you get into the day-and-day grind of the thing, the company that I've started, and now you've got to get employees, and you've got to do things like HR, and you're like, this is boring. Like I don't like. This isn't the part I liked. The part I liked was creating the thing from concept to completion, as it were, and then now it's just running it, and I'm bored with that. So then the new shiny thing, a new idea, and I go run and do that, and then I kind of leave this one alone. So that's definitely. But so knowing myself, learning myself, and then sticking to things, I do much better with a business partner. So I'm really blessed to have a guy named Jordan Moeller, who's my business partner here, and at Public, and he's fantastic. And so that accountability is really helpful. Yeah. But you have to learn yourself, and then work your failures, like the things he's good at, I'm not good at, and vice versa. Like I talk way too much. He never says anything. Right.
But you guys balance. I mean, I've been in meetings with you guys, and you guys balance each other well because not that like one's like the ideas and one's the muscle or whatever, but you guys
the muscle.
You guys come at it from an interesting.
I'm the muscle.
You're fire and ice. Fire and ice. You guys come at it together. Mm-hmm. You might be the looks. Mm-hmm. He's the beard though. I mean, you got a beard, but he's the beard.
He's got a great beard. Here, something funny real quick. We're starting a YouTube channel called The Ignoramuses.
Okay.
He and I. Here's the premise. This is another creative thing.
I'm really into this McDonald's sauce, actually.
It's good. Here's the premise. We're two guys that don't know about a lot of things. So we're going to talk to other business owners who have expertises in those areas.
Okay.
We're going to film this whole thing. So we're filming it, and they're teaching us how to do what they do. Then we execute on that, like in their presence while interviewing them.
Okay.
So it's an interview show like this. So the first one is this Monday we're filming it. And Jordan has this big long beard like ZZ Top, and he's got long hair. He hasn't cut it since the pandemic started, I don't think.
Okay.
So we're going to Johnny's. Our friend Johnny owns a place called Rad Barbershop in Frenchtown. And we're going down there, and he's going to teach me in 5 minutes how to cut hair. And I'm going to cut Jordan's hair. Do his beard. I'm going to do it nice.
You're going to do his beard?
Yeah, I'm going to do everything.
That's a lot of trust.
Yeah, man. It's going to be great. The second one is we're going to this boxing gym. The guy's going to teach us how to fight, and we're going to fight each other. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Is that a real episode?
I promise, yeah. And we've got the third episode already that we've already got. We got a guy who works in the Secret Service world. He's going to teach us how to drive like backwards, evade gunfire. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
That's unreal.
It's going to be awesome.
This is a new. Do you want to give us the name of it? Ignoramuses?
It's called the Ignoramuses. Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's going to be our new YouTube thing. It's going to be through Public Art Company. So
make sure you check it out. This sounds interesting.
It's going to be fun.
All right. Well, hey. We're going to go to our next...
When are we going to get a hot wing, bro?
We're going to get a hot one right now.
Should have said that. Does anybody have questions? Or does that not... I'm not taking over the show.
Yeah, no. So we have that is our question now. And so it is kind of our Ask the Audience area. And so if anyone has them, drop them in. But what we do in this is we'll do a
quick
hot wing. And I'm going to try to decide. I think we're going to... Last week, Adam Weber did not think this was that hot. Okay. But we're going to try it on you and me.
But Adam Weber, come on. He's a dreamboat.
He's a dreamboat.
He wrote a book.
2 of them.
So he's smart. 2? I didn't even know that. Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that he can eat fire and survive. My tongue is burning now from that green stuff. When I first ate that and you said, it's kind of hot, I was like, what a wuss. But now it's late.
Well, let's cheers this one while we wait for some questions. Okay. We got a heart, though. This one's hot, though.
Wow, we got one heart. Come on, people. I know my mom's watching. Let's go, Mom. This one's hot.
Yeah. She said she was watching early on.
My mom did?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sweet on the beginning.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's really sweet at the beginning. Okay. Back of the throat hard.
It's too hard. I gave us a lot.
That's hot. That's uncomfortable.
Oh, I got a great question. Do either one of you have a podcast? I don't have a podcast. I tried that
from my mom.
No, it's from your wife. Do you have a podcast?
Yeah, we launched a new podcast yesterday, my wife and I. It gets hotter than that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's possible. It's called Live, Laugh, Ugh. Live, Laugh, Ugh. And you can, it's like oh, jeez. Maybe I don't know what hot sauce is. I mean, it feels like there's knives in my mouth, like razor blades.
This might be a great milk.
It's if Weber said that's not hot and he was being honest,
I don't know how much you put on it.
He needs to do MMA fighting right now because that is incredible. Live, Laugh, Ugh. It's wherever you get your podcasts. You should listen to it. My wife is hilarious.
Great podcasting voice, by the way. Her introduction to your podcast, it's so good.
I might not be able to do it anymore after this because I might not be able to. It's so painful. Is it really hot for you too?
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, I'm not joking with you.
Okay.
It's like, think about like running a marathon. Mm-hmm. Like I've run a lot of hot sauce marathons.
Yeah. It was really sweet at the beginning.
I'm telling you, Dr. Pepper is one of the best remedies. I'm going to pour you this glass right here, yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, people at home. This is boring. But I am not an actor. This really hurts. It hurts when you breathe, and my lips hurt.
Sorry about the fuzz.
Okay.
Well, I'll let you know that our viewership took a spike since you took a bite.
It went up?
Yeah.
I'm so hot. It'll go down if I get naked. I promise. I think Facebook has rules against that. Oh. I'm going to get some Burt's Bees.
Live, Laugh, Ugh.
Yep.
So anywhere you can get your podcast, Live, Laugh, Ugh. Yep. Great podcast. It's about life, marriage, family, parenting.
Our tagline is, familying is hard, we make it funny. The first part's definitely true. I don't know if we make it funny, though. But they're funny episodes. Like, I think episode 2 is titled... A pastor told me not to marry Leah twice.
A pastor told me not to. Was the name of it?
Yeah. And if you want to hear those stories, you got to check out the podcast. It's starting to I'm not even going to say it because if I say it,
don't say it. Well, don't say it. Answer this question: how can a person cultivate the imagination behind creativity?
Wow, Mom, seriously, I don't know the answer to this.
Oh, is that your mom?
Yeah. How can a person cultivate the imagination? I think a lot of people are really, really, including me sometimes, caught up in being entertained. So if you spend a great deal of time watching Netflix, listening to podcasts, I do. I mean, I'm right there. But I think if you don't ever be still and just meditate or take a walk or just sit and watch the water, I think that's one way to do it. I think giving your brain time to calm down and then think about what was it? I don't even remember the question. It was so long. That's my mom for you. How can a person cultivate the imagination? I mean, I think imagination, just like muscles, you work it.
Yeah.
I mean, the first story most people wrote sucks.
Yeah.
But then they get better and they write and they keep writing and then they know the difference between a story arc and writing in first person versus whatever.
Right.
So I think practice is part of that. I can't tell you how many films I make videos for a living. I make a full-time living pulling cameras out, putting lights on people, and shooting. And I can't tell you how many of them I make still now that are still I'm this isn't very good. Now, there's a lot of parameters there. Sometimes it's the client doesn't get, you don't have the freedom to do some of the things you want to do. But sometimes, I don't know, it's just but you figure out what was wrong, what didn't work, and you do it better next time.
Oh. Man.
I can't believe it's getting hotter than that.
Yeah, but it's calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, this is yeah. But I mean, you're saying the sauces are going to get hotter.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go here, but I'm afraid because this is my sauce and it's hot.
Let's try it. I mean, I'm hoping it's a step down.
It might be. I don't know. But okay, so I told you the story. When I put this on anything, I do 4 drops max in a whole thing of chili.
Yeah.
A whole bowl. Not 4 drops on one.
Yeah, I gave you a lot.
Did you do it on purpose? Did you give me more than you? Don't lie.
I gave us
my mom's watching this. Don't lie.
Gave us both the same.
The same exact?
I think my heart palpitations are coming in. So you sauce us up. Here are our question, though. And if you have more questions, actually, to give us, we'll answer them.
Yeah, because I can answer my mom's questions and my wife's questions anytime. Come on. This isn't my show. I can be.
It's true. That's right. So we answered. I asked this a little bit earlier, but we're going to ask it again, but in a little bit of a different way.
Oh, it's too much. That's too much.
I got that one for you.
Oh, I get even more of that one.
Why do you think it's hard for us to believe that we are actually filled with creativity? You talked about us being created in God's image. We're image bearers.
Yeah.
This is who we are. We believe that. Why is it hard? But you can't answer until we cheers this and take a bite.
I gave myself less. I took some off.
Oh, it's pretty hot. Instantly hot.
Yeah. It's not back of the throat hot, though, like that other one. Or maybe it is. I'm not sure.
No, this one's it's got a very similar peppery texture to it.
That's the hardest one I brought. Well, maybe this is hard.
I bet you that one's harder.
And again, I mean, I think it's hard for us to do that because we compare ourselves to other people. When we look at some of the famous painters from different genres, they're generally, different eras. They're generally people who took a chance and did something different. They're generally, Picasso's whole violin series, it started to get bizarre. And I'm not an art critic or anything, but when artists started to follow kind of their own path, I think that in their imagination, and they let their freak flag fly or whatever the thing is, where they just decide I've been doing it this way that I've been taught, and I'm supposed to do brush strokes like this, but I'm going to do it like this.
But once you get out,
try my own thing, yeah. And if they really like it, Jackson Pollock, like all these, made his things, and they're just like, everyone looks at a Jackson Pollock and says, I can do that. But did you go to Hobby Lobby, buy a canvas, and go do it? Go do Probably it. Not. Go try. I've never done it, but I think I can do it, but I don't know if I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stop comparing yourself to other people. One way to do that is to delete your social media accounts on your phone.
But don't do that because we need you to follow Hot Thoughts.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it on your phone though. You can do that on your computer. So I did delete Facebook.
But you still follow Hot Thoughts.
I do, and I go onto Facebook, but I do it in a time where I made a decision. Like email controls my life on my phone. Right. I want to delete that so that I just have to sit down to do emails. I have to sit down to do social media. I give myself a time frame.
That's good.
I go handle that stuff, and then I go about my day. I think a big problem is it's so readily available. I mean, both of our phones are right here.
Yeah, they're close to us.
And this is how we keep them all the time. And the second something gets boring, even a TV show, the filmmaker spent a lot of time really thinking about slowing down the film at that given time to for whatever reason, they're going to reset, they're going to scare you, something's going to happen. And this is
when you looked away.
We grabbed our phone. I got something more interesting to do. And I think if we got rid of that, we got a flip phone at work for our work phone recently, and I'm seriously considering it.
Hey, the flip phone game was a great one. I missed the flip phone a little bit.
There's nothing better that when because I was on a phone today with some business call thing, and when you're done, you just go click. Like there's something about that.
There's a lot of power in it. Have you seen the thing where like you ask your kids like, hey, can you pick up a pretend phone call? And now kids do this because it's an iPhone. Yeah. Never even crossed my mind. I would still do this, even though a phone like this hasn't existed in years.
Yeah, I've seen video of 2 and 3 year olds with real paper magazines go. Yeah.
Right.
Let's try to get them to.
Well, sometimes I'll be on my computer, right, and I'll be like, hey, I'll forget my laptop, and I'll like swipe, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this thing?
Yeah. Or do you use an iPad a lot?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we got one more question, but I think we got 2 more because we're going to do one of yours. We got 2 more wings apiece, so we're going to pepper these guys.
We're going to do the powder.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So this is a very fancy. I think it's from France. Not really, but it's a grinder.
Hoagies and grinders.
So you grind it. So I think that means. Can you smell it? Oh man, I'm gonna sneeze. This is.
Bless you.
This is what
go that way. COVID.
That's from that. Is it hot?
I didn't get a lot. I'm gonna give it another grind.
It's all up my nose.
Oh, it's there.
Oh.
It's peppery. I can see why you sneezed.
It's not bad. It's not hot though.
Not hot. But we'll go with the last one. Now I'm going to let you choose though.
Oh man.
One of these 3. We got Doomed, The Constrictor, and The Last Dab. They're all really hot.
I got to do the last dab out of respect.
Out of respect. All right. And we shake it.
Uh-huh. Oh, geez.
Just like our predecessors before us.
Sean would be proud.
That one does get you a little bit with the pepper.
I get it up my nose, man. Okay, just one dab.
It's
easy.
Hard. It doesn't come out.
Oh, it's so much. I don't. That's too much. Come on. Here, let me move up. I'll use a fry to move some.
Yeah, get some of that off there. Here, I'll take that one.
You can't eat all that. Oh, there's some on the end. No, this is unfair.
Look at that. That's fair.
Okay, that's fair.
Cheers. Hey, last question. It's going to be good.
Okay.
I haven't done this one in like 8 episodes because it's hot.
I'm not saying anything.
So, Dustin, my friend, what is the best step for someone, first step for someone living into their God-given creativity?
Well, our first step always is to pray about it, right?
Hey, I like that.
That's holy, right? But yeah, I mean, I would say, if you're...
I don't think that one was as hot as the one before.
I don't think so either. Not even close. Not even on the same stratosphere.
That one snuck underneath us. I think I feel cheated.
Oh, you want to do more?
I do a little bit.
Pour some more onto these fries and go for it, my friend.
You got this. You're doing this one with me.
All right.
You'll dip it in here.
So let me answer this question, though, because I think it's important. It's half the bottle. I think that creativity is great for your mental health. Doing the things that it's hot. Doing the things that you enjoy and you're passionate about, I think is really good for your mental health. But I also think doing things that are creative for the kingdom is really, really, really special. I think there's a special place when you're doing something for God, for other people, but it also fulfills your creative purpose. I mean, you write sermons every week or every couple weeks. When you're diving into that sermon, writing a sermon, a spoken word piece was what it is. A speech was what it is. The whole, you want the Holy Spirit to be a part of that, and I think there's something very special. And I preached for a long time, so So I've had sermons that were just humongous duds in my opinion,
right?
And I've had some sermons where I was like, I think that one might have been 100% Holy Spirit, 0% me. Those are the best ones,
Yeah.
So I think that trying to figure that out, is there a way to meld or marry your passion with ministry in some way? We have a brand new company that we're getting ready to launch. And I can't say the name because it's too early, but it's doing that for our company as part of our company, as part of our company culture too. We've done one. Our goal is to do more, but Sons of Thunder events.
Yeah.
And you came to one. And we went out and bought hundreds of dollars of tacos and hung out.
Great tacos.
And had tacos and hung out and spent time as all men, encouraging each other, iron sharpening iron, and holding each other accountable. And there's no sermon that night at a Sons of Thunder event. There's just one question that we ask, and it's different every time. But if you have a hard time starting a conversation with somebody else, you can start with that one question.
Right.
And the last time it was, if you could do anything and you knew you could not fail, what would you do? And so it's a great question. It dives right into someone's hopes and dreams and fears and all the other things. All right, I'm going to try this.
Yeah, it's hot, man. It was hotter than I thought it was going to be.
Was it hotter than the really hot one that we had?
I think it might have been. It's real peppery.
You're hurting.
Just throw my sauce away here.
It's not even a good flavor.
It's not.
That's disgusting.
It's just hot. Well, I think that's right. I think I agree with that. I like that a lot. This idea that we are we have these options, we have these opportunities, and really praying about it, inviting God in, and even for not religious people, right? It's inviting something else other than ourselves. And I think is the thing. Sometimes we think we are creative onto our own selves. Mm-hmm. And I think we know that, as followers of Jesus, we would say, inviting God in, inviting the Holy Spirit in. But I think even people that aren't people of faith would be like, hey, inviting someone that just isn't me in has always been the catalyst to something creative happening. And we're just, I think, in this space where we would name that to be our faith. But it's something to be...
Well, there's something about the unselfishness of the create. If you were, you know who Vivian Maier is? She was a nanny,
okay,
in Chicago, and she was this sort of offbeat, quirky, nice lady.
Okay,
but nanny to a whole bunch of different families, and she was Donahue's nanny for a while. Do you know who Donahue is? You're very young.
I nodded like I knew what you were talking about.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
They were talk show hosts.
Okay,
before you were born. And he was the most popular.
Okay.
He was anyway. But she was this prolific, incredible photographer, but no one knew it.
Okay.
She's a street photographer. She used a TLR, a twins lens reflex camera, which is the kind that you kind of look down into, and it has the two lenses on it.
Okay.
And so what ended up happening is a guy bought was at an auction. I think it was just a home auction where they were just an estate sale or something. And he bought a bunch of negatives in a box, and he started to scan them and look at them, and he was like, "These are incredible." He started putting them out there, trying to get information about it, and now she's the biggest photographer. She's so famous now. She's been passed away for a bit, but
oh wow!
So it was after she died. But she hoarded this, and it was, she didn't want to share it. That wasn't her idea. That wasn't her thing. But now it makes for a good story in hindsight because she's passed away and we get to now enjoy her work. But she was one of those people that said, no, this is just for me. My creativity is just for me. I'm not going to share this with the world. I'm not going to share this with you. And we kind of got robbed, from it, because I'm sure there's a lot of photos that weren't in those boxes. I'm sure she shot other things. But then she got robbed in some ways too of the love that people would have given her when they saw her work.
Right. Yeah.
And the inspiration that she would have been for others.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Dustin, this was...
Are you okay?
Yeah, it was one of the
I don't think you're okay.
It was one of the hotter ones I've done.
Are you sure you're okay?
I think I'm right.
I feel like you might be hurting.
My nose. I can feel my nostrils burning.
All right.
But hey, this was fun.
Yeah.
To do this together. We'll have to do it again. But we got one more question for you. Not about creativity at all. But what is your favorite scripture, movie, and best advice to starting a business?
Wow. So that's 3 questions. My favorite scripture is, I have become all things to all men so that by all possible means I might save some. And that's Paul said that. I have a tattoo.
Okay.
It doesn't say that. It's just waves. But anyway, that's my favorite.
Okay.
It's basically means to me that I'll do absolutely anything I have to do to point people to Jesus,
Yeah, so I like that.
My favorite movie is Braveheart. Because why not?
Why not?
It's an incredible film.
Give you anything, give you freedom. Mm-hmm. I don't know the line, but I know that's in there.
That's the only line you know?
Give me liberty or give me freedom.
No,
what is it? You can take my legs. Our lives.
Yeah. They can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
It's a good movie. And then what's my best advice to
starting a business?
Wow. My best advice. I don't know if it's my best advice because I need more time to marinate and think about that. But I would say stick to it. Starting a business, make sure you know it's something that you want to do. I mean, there's so many people that don't go the right path. They don't do a business plan. They don't really think it through. It's just they get excited about something. So I would say do your due diligence, but definitely stick to it. And that's not starting, but that's if you want to keep a business.
Yeah. Well, I think it's both and. Even you kind of passed over, but doing your due diligence is maybe the most important part of starting something, right?
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this. I'm such a starter that I'll be everything else doesn't matter. Yeah. Let's just fire it off immediately, right? And I've often been not dotted any I's or crossed any T's.
Right. Well, yeah. So that's a great point. The other thing is if you do have some real weaknesses, maybe if you're not detail oriented, you find a business partner who is. Yeah. Who's neurotic.
You find your Jordan.
Exactly. And if you can do that and you can find people that offset each other, you're going to be a lot more successful, a lot quicker. The other thing, though, that's a pendulum. There's a lot of people that fire off too quick and they don't cross the T's, they don't cross the I's. There's other people that never start. Yeah. Because they're just going to keep working on this concept and then they're dead. And they never did it. So don't look back. I would rather be the person that's like you, who's just trying stuff. Oh, I made a mistake. Let's pivot. Let's fix it, and then keep going. Or okay, this whole idea was sucked from the beginning. Let's scrap it. Start the new thing. Then the person who never once started anything. What a sad life that is. You know, to look back when you're laying in that hospice bed and you go, I always had this passion for whatever, and I never did anything with it. Man, that's definitely something I don't want to have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's quite the image to keep us with right there, to think about that we all have something, whether we believe it or not, we're created to create. God has given us kind of this inspiration, right, to be creative, to really tap into the creativity that God has, right? Created the entire universe, right? The ability to live stream things onto Facebook and eat hot peppers, right? I mean, all of that we get from God. And so I think it's cool to have and think about, how do we tap into that? And I hope something that we said tonight was meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, just go create stuff this weekend. It's tomorrow's Friday, then we have a weekend. Go make something. Yeah, I mean, if it's terrible, it doesn't matter. Go have fun. Turn on your music. Turn your favorite song up as loud as you can, and go make something.
Go make something. Yeah. I put a bed together for my wife this weekend.
There you go.
Moving downstairs, got a new kid. So I made a bet. I didn't like it, but the finished product was fun.
Yeah. I mean, and, that's one thing. I mean, I sit down with my little girl a lot, and we'll play Legos. Lego. There's no S at the end. It's Lego. And I love watching her do it because she's just so there all the way. She's right there all the way, and she's not distracted by any other thing. And that's how I want to be.
Yeah, I love that. Well, let's keep that with us. I got 10% on my computer, so we're running out of time.
I got 0% on the heat from my mouth.
Yeah, well, that's good because I got 100% in my nostrils right now. But friends, we'll see you next weekend. Next week, Thursday, this same time. Pastor John is here with me.
Oh.
We're talking about pastoring in partisan times. So we'll see what that's all about.
I can't wait to see him eat wings.
It's going to be brutal. So for nothing else, maybe you don't like the topic, but Reverend John Spalding in this chair next week. Hot wings, hot conversation. Woo. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.